Hi everybody, it's Jenna from Jenna Stitches. It is Wednesday, and usually on Wednesdays I do a Wednesday Works video just showing you what I'm working on Wednesday at that moment. But today I planned on changing it up a little bit and kind of talking about my plans for this year. So before I get into that, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what I have to show, please think about liking, commenting, and subscribing. I would really appreciate that. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back, and I really appreciate that as well. So what are my plans for 2023? If you are familiar with my channel, I believe I've mentioned quite a few times, I'm not a planner. I just kind of go with the flow. But I actually have quite a good picture of what I want to accomplish this year with my crochet. And this is the first year that I want to do more of crocheting for a purpose rather than just, ooh, I like that pattern, I'm going to work on it. I did towards the end of last year do a lot of crocheting for purposes. I donated a lot of hats for a local cancer hospital. I donated a lot of hats to my mom's school. Each one of her students got a hat, and then whatever was left over went to a tree they have in their lobby that kids can just take hats off of. And I have mentioned before that I want to donate things to a local nursing home where my best friend's stepdad is at, and things like that. So I kind of already have a general idea of what I want to accomplish. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And I am going to try my hardest to figure out how to insert pictures into this video. I already watched a YouTube video on it. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that difficult, so I'm going to try to do it. But if it doesn't work, I'm sorry, but I am trying to learn how to get better. That is kind of my first goal, is to actually, put more time into my videos. I probably still won't edit them too much because I am what I am. But I want to be able to figure out how to do stuff like that, like do voiceovers or insert pictures into my videos and things like that. So that's kind of a goal too, is just to learn more about how to make better videos. Another one would be to use my ring light. I know the lighting's not too terrible, at least to me it doesn't look like it, but I have a ring light. I just was too lazy to hook it up. But I do have my lovely crochet project planner that I received from Erin at Crafting Kitty. So thank you so much, Erin. I definitely have already been putting it to good use. And if you guys haven't checked out Erin, please go check her out. I'm sure you all have, but if you haven't, I'll have her channel linked down below. Please go check her out. Her channel is absolutely amazing. I just love her so much. But she gave me this actually for her birthday, and I've been holding on to it to start it out with the new year. So in this planner, it does give you yearly goals, monthly goals, and then weekly goals. So I kind of did a make 9 of 2023, but I think it is actually 10 or 11. Let me count really quick. 11 projects that I want to complete by the end of this year. And this is where I'm going to try to insert pictures for the ones that I don't have anything to show you. If I can't figure out how to do it, I am going to link all the patterns or videos down below from where they're coming from, but I'm going to try my hardest to figure it out. But the first project I want to complete this year is actually behind me, and I guess I should have grabbed it before I started filming. Let me go grab it. And that is the Casablanca mosaic blanket that I have been making for my husband. I have been working on this since May of last year, 2022, very rarely. So I have not gotten much progress done on it at all. And it's kind of frustrating because when I do pick it up and work on it, I really enjoy working on it. But once I put it down, I just never have the desire to pick it back up. So I actually want this done by May. I don't want to have it go for more than a year. So that is my plan right now. But here it is. So I have gotten like a full repeat of it done. And I need to get it done. And he's so excited about it. Every time I'm working on it, he's like, oh, you're working on my blanket. Or anytime we're talking to someone about crochet, he's like, you should see the blanket she's making me. So I really just want to get it done for him. And I want to get it done by the year mark. So that would be around May, I believe. Oh, I kicked my desk. I don't know if it shook my camera, so I'm sorry if it did. The second pattern that I want to complete this year is actually something that I just saw yesterday, and I believe it was Terry from the Yarn Joy podcast who said she wanted to make it this year. And it's called the Christmas Eve Wishes. Again, I'll try to insert a picture here, but if I can't figure it out, I'll have it linked down below. But it is a very, very cute Christmas Eve blanket, and I don't have any Christmas blankets. Actually was talking about that with people in my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group. If you want to come join it, I'll have that link down below as well. Nice little plug there. But we were talking about that in my Facebook group, that I don't have any Christmas blankets or anything. And that's kind of a plan too, is to have like a blanket that I can put out every holiday. I'm actually doing a collab with a few other channels starting this week on Thursday, even though I doubt my yarn will be here. If it is, I'm starting it though. And it is a corner to corner blanket that says love on it, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. So that would be my first thing. I want to make a Halloween blanket, which I made one a couple years ago and I have no clue what happened to it. So I want to make another one. I want to have a Christmas blanket. So that is my plan. And that is the second project I want to complete this year. It's called the Christmas Eve Wishes blanket. The third pattern I want to complete is a pattern by Hobbii. Well, I don't think it's by Hobbii, but it's on the Hobbii website. And it's called the Jasmine Tea Shawl. So I actually own, I wouldn't say quite a few, but a few of the one-weight cakes. I have one that's Sheep G's. I have one that's the Sultan Deluxe. I have a few of the Hobby Lobby ones. So I have those in anticipation to work on shawls. And this shawl is just absolutely gorgeous. And it is a paid for pattern if you're not one of their members, which I'm not, so I will have to pay for the pattern, but it's just gorgeous, and it's going to be absolutely perfect with one of my cakes. And again, one of my main plans this year, and I know I've mentioned it a few times before, is to work from my stash. As you can see, some of it behind me. This isn't even, I'd say it's probably about half my stash. I have a whole huge tote bin next to me that's full, and then I have a huge armoire in my bedroom that I just filled up with yarn the other day, because these, believe it or not, one of these is new. Actually, it's this one right here, but it's the same size as the other one. But this was probably like higher than my arm goes right now, stacked with cakes. Before I kind of rearranged the other day, and I filled the armoire in my bedroom with yarn. So I do want to work from my stash, and I wanted to do a work from my library type thing too, but some of these patterns I will have to purchase to make. But my main goal is to work from my stash. So the Jasmine Tea Shawl, I'll use one of the cakes I already have. The next thing, it also comes from Hobbii, and it's called the Winter Waves. There's another W word in there. Winter Wave Set, I'm just going to call it. Again, I'll try to insert the picture. But it is a cowl, hat, and I believe fingerless glove set that I really thought was beautiful and I would want to make. Last year, at the end of this year, end of last year, it is 2023, for Christmas, there we go, I did make all of my kids' teachers hat and cowl sets. Both my boys happen to have 2 teachers apiece this year, so I had to make 4 hat and cowl sets, and I want to do the same thing for whoever they have this coming up year, so in September. Don't know if they'll have, more than one teacher again. I doubt it. I think it was just a fluke that they both had 2 teachers. but I guess I could get a jump start on it. And then if I make more than I need, I have other people who I can definitely give them to as well. So that is the fourth pattern. After that, I have two things by, I almost said Summer, Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches. One is her Ashley cowl. I have had that video saved to my crochet playlist since the day she made it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much, and for some reason just have not made it yet. So I wrote it down because it is a pattern that I've wanted to make since the day she came out with it. And I could make quite a few of them. And then the second one is also from her, and that is the Summer Breeze tank. I've actually made the Summer Breeze tank twice, and I don't know what I did with either of them. But I also, if you care, as of today, have lost 100 pounds, and both those tanks probably wouldn't even fit me if I could find them. So I do want to make another one, and I have a lot of cotton yarn that I purchased that I want to make tops out of. So that is the, whatever number we're on, 6th pattern I want to make this year. The next one is another pattern that I have had saved for years. I would probably say 2 to 3 years at this point that I purchased this pattern, or it might be a free pattern on Ravelry. Either way, I've had this pattern for about 2 to 3 years. It's absolutely gorgeous. I want to make it, and I just haven't. And that is the Canada kerchief top. And I've had the yarn for this for 2 years now. I actually got it back in the Hobby Lobby clearance sale of 2021. Yeah, 2021. And the second I saw that yarn, I was like, I know that I'm going to make this top with it. So I've had the pattern and the yarn for well over a year now. So it's just time to make it. The next one is a really simple pattern, but I think it's beautiful, and I've had it saved to my YouTube playlist for quite a while again, and it is called the Herringbone Twist Ear Warmer. I didn't write down who the creator of that is, but again, I'll try to insert a picture, and it will also be linked down below. But it's a simple pattern, so it shouldn't be that hard to make, but it is on the list. The next two come from Etsy, and they come from an Etsy shop that I just absolutely love. I'll have it linked down below. And of course, I can't remember the name of it right now. I think it's called Sea Star, because both the patterns start with Sea Star, and I know visually picturing it sees something. But I'll have it linked down below. I guess I should have been a little bit more prepared. But the first one is called Sea Star Oceanside, and it is a hat and cowl set, and I actually have a picture of it. It's the first one I have a picture of. So there it is. So another hat and cowl set, and like I said, I do want to have everything more prepared this year than I had last year, because last year I started making things for Christmas beginning to mid-November. So this year I want to do it throughout the year rather than waiting. So that is why I do have, you know, some hat and cowl sets on here, because that is something that I'm going to keep going with for years to come, is having hat and cowl sets ready to go for gifts or for people to purchase, whatever it may be. The next one is by the same Etsy shop, and it is called the Sea Star Havana head wrap. And the reason why I say head wrap is because there is the Sea Star Havana ear warmer and then the Sea Star Havana head wrap, and the only difference is the ear warmer has a ribbing band on it, and the head wrap, which is the one I want to make, is just a head wrap. I don't have a picture of that one, but again, I'll try to insert it, or if not, it's going to be linked down below. And again, just another simple ear warmer, but I love making ear warmers, and they are great little gifts to give out too. And then the last one I have here And again, I didn't write down who the creator of the pattern is. And I'm surprised I don't know this one because I swear I'm on her website like every other day. She's just got some amazing patterns, a lot of wearables. So again, it will be linked down below. I'll try to insert a picture. But it's called the Tilted Tunic. And I actually did make the Tilted Tunic probably about 2 years ago at this point. It might have actually been early last year. And I was almost done with it. It is a tunic. So I think I got to the point where I made the front and the back. It was the very first wearable I tried to make, which if you know what it is, I was being a little bit ambitious. And the back and the front didn't match, and then I couldn't figure out how to put them together. So I scrapped it. So I still have that pattern saved. I've had it saved forever now, and I need to make it. So that is the last like yearly goal for patterns I have, or projects to complete. Then I have just laid out some monthly goals. So I have laid out my monthly goals for January, and I haven't added everything in there yet that I'm going to be working on. And you can see I've actually already finished 4 projects. But I have the main things that I'm going to be working on laid out. So the first one I have here, ew, my son got into my chapstick. Oh yeah. He I don't know what he did, but he bit the top off or something. How sad. I have 9 chapsticks laying around though, so I guess that's gonna have to go in the garbage. Anyways, so I am doing a collab monthly with quite a few other channels. As of right now, it's myself, Heather from Strings and Threads, Jess from J Hooked Magic, Darla from It's in the Bag Crochet with Darla, Erin from Crafting Kitty, and Tiffany from CMM Designs. I know myself, Heather, Darla, and Jess are doing it throughout the year. I don't know if Crafting Kitty, Erin, and Tiffany are gonna continue on with us, but I do know both of them are joining on for January. And it is the Heartthrob blanket. It is a free pattern on Your Inspirations. Anybody who wants to join in on the collab with us definitely can do so. I will have a video out on Thursday with more details. Hopefully my yarn will be here by then too, so I can show my colors and everything. But we're going to be doing free patterns throughout the year. The first one we chose is called the Heartthrob blanket. So that is on my list for this month. The second one is the 3-hour scarf by Hooked by Robin. And Erin from Crafting Kitty does a creator spotlight each month where she picks a creator, and herself and a lot of other people join in and make patterns by this creator. She does a giveaway with it. It's so much fun. I've been participating every month since she started it. I did participate last month, but I never sent her my picture. But I did make a pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. So I did participate. I just forgot to send in the picture. And I kept every day saying, I need to send Erin my picture. I need to send, and I never did it. But this month is Hooked by Robin. So I did write down 2 of her patterns that I'm going to do. I might throw in a third. I haven't decided yet. But one of them was the 3-hour scarf. I have already finished that. I started it and finished it yesterday, so I will show that in my weekly wrap-up video this week. And then she also is the creator of the worry worms, which are just little cute, I wouldn't really call them amigurumis, but they're little worms. You just make a chain and you single crochet 4 times in each chain, and then you double crochet to kind of make the head of it. And I've actually made 4 or 5 so far already. My plan with those is to actually make a bunch of them and give them to my mom, because again, my mom's a teacher, and I think it would be great, something she can give to the kids in the classroom. And I'll just give her a bunch. If there end up being extra, maybe she can send them down to kindergarten to my son's classroom. But that is my plan with those. So I have made 4 or 5 of those so far. The next thing I have on the list for this month is actually the cardigan I am wearing, so the hexagon cardi. I followed the pattern by Passionate Kelsey. I've talked about it quite a few times already, but there are many patterns out there that you can find for a hexagon cardigan. But I actually finished it yesterday. So there it is. Actually, if you go back and watch yesterday's video, my temperature blanket Tuesday video that I posted yesterday, I talked about it in a little bit more detail. And again, it will be in my wrap up on Sunday. So you'll see it again. You'll probably see it quite a bit because I've been wearing it since I finished it too. But that was on the list to complete this month, so obviously I already got that done. The next thing is my Dottie sweater. I don't know why I wrote Dottie either. I mean, the yarn I'm using is called Dottie, but it's called the mixtape sweater. It's a free pattern from Hobie. I started that back in the end of November, I believe, and the only thing I have left to do is the sleeves, and I kind of have set it down and not worked on it since. So I have that on the list to get finished. And then I also am planning on doing a hat a week throughout the year, which should be a very simple task. Hats only take me a few hours to complete. But again, at the end of last year, and if you're familiar with my channel, you know this, but I made like 13 to 17 hats for a local cancer hospital. And then I made like over 20 hats to give to my mom for the school. And I'm going to do the same thing this year. So instead of waiting till the very end of the year to do all that, I'm going to try to work on at least one hat a week so that I have a bunch by end of the year this year. So I did do a seed stitch beanie yesterday and I already have that completed. So that's what I had laid out for January. I'm going to be adding to it as I go too. I think for monthly goals, I'm just going to write down patterns I know for sure I need to finish and then kind of add to it as I go, because I also want to keep track of what I'm working on in this book too. And then I have my weekly goals laid out. So for this week, I had my hexagon cardigan. I was able to color that little bubble because I finished it. I have the 3-hour scarf I was just talking about that I already finished, and the seed stitch beanie. But then I also have the 2 blankets that I'm working on. So the Casablanca mosaic, which is on the floor next to me, which is my husband's blanket. I want to at least complete 10 rows this week. And then I am working on a blanket for 2 coworkers of mine that are getting married. And it is the 4 blanket. It's a hooked on sunshine pattern. Again, I'll have it linked down below. And I want to complete at least 10 rows of that this week. I think I've already completed 5, so I got 5 more to go. And then for next week, I have my Dottie sweater on there. So I want to get that completed. I have worry worms on there, but again, I've already made some this week. And then I have the second hat on there, which is going to be the Wanderlust beanie. Again, I'll have the pattern linked down below, and then 10 more rows of each of those blankets. So that's kind of what I have laid out so far in here for my goals. And that's kind of about it. I am working on a temperature blanket, like I just said a minute ago. I did post a video yesterday, Temperature Blanket Tuesday, showing the yarn that I'm going to be using and everything. But my goal really is to take down my stash. So I kind of have a yarn band going, but not necessarily. I'm going to try my hardest to only buy yarn if I'm going to be making that pattern like right then and there. Because I have many times been like, ooh, I need this yarn, I'm going to make this blanket or whatever, and then never made the blanket or whatever the pattern may be. This year I want to focus more on, I'm going to make this starting as soon as I get the yarn. I'll order the yarn. Kind of like the Heartthrob blanket. I didn't have the yarn I needed for it, so I ordered it, but I'm going to start it as soon as I get it because that's part of the collaboration I'm doing. I'm sure there's going to be times throughout the year that I make yarn purchases, but I am going to try to limit it because I want to be able to fit my yarn on these 2 shelves right here. And they're not that big of shelves, so I won't have that big of stash, but that's okay because I can go out and buy yarn if I need to. The hard part about that is, and you might be able to tell, is I love Caron cakes. Every Caron cake that's come out, except for like anything above a bulky. I'm not really a fan of super bulky yarn at all. I don't really care for bulky either. Usually I'm 4 and under. But even the bulky ones I'll buy. And a lot of them are like limited edition. They come out once, they don't come back. So that's going to be hard. But if I do buy them, it's going to be because it's something that I really love and I will really work on. Like the cloud cakes are my favorite yarn, so I do have a stash of those. I probably always will. Same with latte cakes. Skinny cakes, I have a lot of, and I do really love skinny cakes, but I don't need as many as I have. Crystal cakes came out last year. They're not coming back. I have a lot of them, but I do want to work on the ones I have, because what's the point of saving them? So the Karen cakes is going to be hard, but I do plan on even trying to limit that. So that's kind of my goals for the year. I'm sure there's other stuff. I can't really think off the top of my head, and my kids just started fighting, so I got to go check on them, and they kind of just distracted me. But that's what I was thinking of so far. Let me know down below if you guys have any goals that you set this year. And I guess at the end of the year, we'll kind of see. Oh, I did have another thing. It's not really a goal, but I do want to, at the end of the year, do like a crochet project roundup. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Hi. And be able to show or tell, I guess, how many projects I worked on throughout the year, how much yarn I used, and things like that. So other than this planner, I actually have a notebook too that I'm writing down the projects more in detail, like start date, end date, what yarn I used, what hook I used, what colorway, and yardage, except I don't really know how to figure out how many yards I used if I don't use a full cake. So a lot of them probably won't have yardage on it unless I know for a fact that, like this, I know for a fact I used 3 full mandala cakes with maybe like 5 or 6 yards left over. So I know how many yards this took. But like that 3-hour scarf I made yesterday that I'll show on Sunday, it was made out of an anniversary cake, and I barely made a dent in that anniversary cake. So I don't know how many yards I used, but that's something I want to be able to do at the end of the year for you guys too. Also kind of a goal, kind of not, because I don't want to, you know, put a number on things, but I would love to be monetized by my 1 year, which is in May. So I don't know if that will happen, because I still need about 400 subscribers and quite a few watch hours, but that would be a really good goal of mine, is to be able to hit that by 1 year. If I can't, I can't. Also, this is my 100th video, which is really cool. Sorry, I just kind of sidetracked there, but definitely would like to do that. If not by my 1 year, by mid-year this year. And if it takes till the end of next year, whatever. It is a goal for 2023, though, to build my channel and be monetized. Again, if it happens, it happens, and I'll be very happy, because, you know, that is my goal. But if it doesn't, it's not too big of a deal, because I really enjoy coming on and making these videos and talking to you all, and I've made some really great friends. So the numbers and everything don't matter too much, but it would be really cool to be able to hit that goal. So I'm planning for May. If I don't get there, I don't get there, but that's my plan. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I just rambled on for 28 minutes, so I will let you guys go, and I'll see you tomorrow for, oh, what is the name of the collab? Things we're working on Thursday. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.